If you, like us, spend any time online, you probably have this feeling, right? This kind of low hum of unease. That maybe the reality you're seeing, the trends, the outrage, who's popular, it feels a bit, well, manufactured.
Yeah, definitely. Like you're swimming in this huge digital space, almost like a matrix that's constantly shifting.
Exactly. A digital matrix and that uneasy feeling. That's what we're diving into today.
Okay.
Our mission is to sort of peek behind the curtain, look at the dark architecture of this engineered reality.
Right.
We're pulling sources from some interesting places. Computer science, sure, but also physical chemistry, even philosophy.
That's quite a mix.
It is. The goal is to understand not just that we're being sorted online, but how that sorting makes us, well, vulnerable. Vulnerable to things like cognitive farming and this idea we're calling fame wash.
Okay, those sound pretty intense. Cognitive farming and fame wash.
They are. And they sound abstract? Maybe. But these things really impact your daily attention, what you see, what you believe.
The ability to even tell what's real, probably.
Yeah, precisely. So to get it, we need to look at the system's accounting, you could say. We'll untrack this concept of the invisible ledger.
The invisible ledger. Okay, what's that tracking?
It tracks the system's true costs, like suppressed truth versus inflated noise, which leads to this kind of pay-to-speak casino.
A casino where noise gets rewarded over actual signal.
You got it. And we'll use this surprisingly perfect analogy from chemistry chromatography to explain how algorithms actually physically silo us. Separate realities.
A chromatography. Wow, okay. That's unexpected. Let's get into it.
All right, let's start with the human layer. The only variable the system really truly cares about.
Yeah.
And the sources suggest the fundamental division, especially online, is your tolerance for uncertainty.
Exactly. You can basically map all digital content on a simple two-dimensional graph.
Okay.
Think of the x-axis as depth. So high complexity versus low complexity, nuance versus simplicity.
Got a depth on the X.
And the y-axis is emotional valence. High outrage, high emotion versus low emotional reaction.
Right. Depth and emotion.
Yeah.
So when you plot content like that,
The zones that really dominate our public conversation, they pop right out.
and we're focused on the high emotion ones.
Mostly, yeah. Particularly zone 1, which is low depth, high outrage.
Simple and angry.
Simple and angry, and that's the critical zone for manipulation because it's so easy to consume. It gives you that feeling of 100% certainty, black and white, no gray areas.
Okay, and this is where the interdisciplinary thing gets really interesting, right?
Yeah.
Comparing content to sugar.
Yeah, it's a fantastic analogy, actually.
Yeah.
Zone 1 content, low depth, high outrage. It's like pure, refined table sugar.
A quick hit.
A very quick hit. A rapid spike in feeling, almost zero friction, immediate emotional reward, no real thinking required.
Just pure dopamine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The complexity, the nuance, the fiber, if you will, it's all stripped away.
But what about high-def content? Even if it's emotional.
That's more like, say, an apple. Still has sugar, maybe still provokes emotion, but it has fiber.
Complexity.
You have to chew it. You have to chew it, yeah. Metaphorically, you have to engage analytical thought. That complexity slows down the outrage velocity because your brain is processing nuance, maybe conflicting points. It takes effort.
So if we get hooked on that zone 1 refined sugar content, that lack of cognitive effort, it creates a feedback loop.
A really damaging one, yeah, for the individual.
Or
And the physical consequences are pretty profound.
How so?
You know, constantly consuming that super emotional, simple stuff. It leads to continuous spikes of dopamine, sure, but also cortisol, adrenaline.
Stress hormones.
Right. This isn't just mental fatigue. It's actual physical wear and tear over time.
And the philosophical result. The sources call the person an automa.
Yes, an automaton. Someone who isn't really operating from reasoned thought anymore.
It's reacting.
Just reacting. An emotional machine driven by compulsion, by external triggers, highly predictable, easily mobilized, basically pre-programmed.
Wow. And this susceptibility, they can measure it using chemistry. Tell us about human polarizability.
It's a cool concept. Polarizability in chemistry, it measures how easily an atom's electron cloud gets distorted by an electric field. Basically, how easily it's influenced by its environment.
Okay, so applied to people.
It measures how easily influenced you are by the environment of the digital matrix.
So if you have strong beliefs, ones you arrived at through complex thought, careful analysis,
Yeah.
you'd be low polarizability.
Right. Think of that person like a hard water balloon that's totally full.
Resists pressure.
Exactly. It resists distortion. You push on it, it keeps its shape, its integrity.
And the highly polarizable person.
They're like a soft, maybe underinflated water balloon, impressionable, changes their mind easily.
Conforms to whatever surface it's on.
Perfectly put. They adopt the latest narrative, the current thing, often without even noticing, like, glaring logical problems. They are prime candidates for algorithmic shaping.
The perfect automa.
The perfect automa, just waiting for the right trigger.
This a pretty bleak picture of the user experience.
Yeah.
So once the system finds these highly polarizable people, how does it separate them, groom them? This is the chromatography thing.
This is where it gets really fascinating, yeah, because you can model the algorithmic sorting almost perfectly using chromatography, that physical chemistry technique for separating mixtures.
Right, like separating ink pigments or something. How does that work for people online?
Okay, so think of the components. The people online, they're like the different molecular species you want to separate.
Okay, we're molecules.
In this model, yeah. Then the constant stream of content, the feed scrolling past, that's the liquid mobile phase. It's always flowing, pushing you along.
And the content I actually click on, like a specific political channel or cooking videos or whatever.
That's the solid stationary phase, a fixed matrix of topics. When you click, you, the molecule, partition onto that phase. You get retained by that topic.
You stick to it for a bit.
Exactly. And the algorithm calculates your unique partition coefficient. Basically, the ratio of time you spend watching versus scrolling past. How sticky you are to that content.
Ah, okay. And just like in a real chemistry column, different molecules travel at different speeds based on how sticky they are.
Precisely. The algorithm uses that retention time, that stickiness, to separate users.
And the result?
Fractionation. You end up with distinct bands of people moving at different speeds through the system.
Which we experience as
Algorithmic silos. Echo chambers. It groups people perfectly based on their emotional reactions and their appetite for depth or lack thereof.
Okay, that makes a kind of mechanical sense. But if you get siloed into, say, a group about classic cars, maybe that's harmless. The real issue is politics, right?
That's where it gets really problematic, yeah.
Does the algorithm just push everyone towards that simple high outrage zone 1, even if they start out looking at, I don't know, mainstream news versus some niche independent channel?
It largely seems to, yeah, because outrage drives retention, that stickiness factor.
Huh.
So the algorithm quickly figures out your political leaning and then tends to push you into that low-depth, high outrage content within that leaning.
Doesn't matter if it's CNN or Fox News or maybe some independent commentator who's mostly just reacting.
Often the structure is similar, yeah. Whether it's corporate media or that sort of sublayer of independent political stuff, it's frequently based on rhetorical conflict. It's designed to sustain outrage, keep those emotional valence spikes happening.
So it's just an endless validation loop. You get your views confirmed, you get angry at the other side.
And you just tread water ideologically. You never actually dig into root causes or complex solutions.
Because solving the problem would end the outrage cycle.
Exactly. Solving it ends the engagement dynamic. The goal isn't resolution, it's keeping the automa triggered and active within their silo.
Okay, wow. That covers the passive sorting part.
Yeah.
But now we need to talk about the active manipulation, malicious stuff. We used to worry about simple botnets, spamming basic comments. But now, large language models, LLMs, they're like rocket fuel for this stuff.
Oh, absolutely. The game has fundamentally changed. LLMs let bots generate unique, coherent, contextually relevant messages on the fly.
So not just canned responses.
Not at all. It's becoming genuinely hard, maybe impossible soon, for a regular person to reliably tell if they're interacting with a real human or a sophisticated AI bot maintaining a persona.
Okay, so if the bots are that good, how is public opinion, or the appearance of it, actually manufactured at scale?
Through something called cognitive farming.
Cognitive farming.
Yeah. It's the organized, industrialized process of generating synthetic consensus.
Fake agreement.
Fake agreement, exactly. Numbers that look democratic, feel organic, like a real groundswell, but are actually bought, leased, and algorithmically pumped into the system.
And this farming, it has hardware and software components.
It does. The hardware roots are things like SIM farms.
SIM farms, like phone SIM cards.
Yeah, huge racks, sometimes rooms full, of prepaid mobile cards constantly generating activity. They provide real network identifiers, real-looking traffic. It builds the physical infrastructure for the illusion. They literally rent the appearance of consensus.
Okay, that's the hardware. What about the software ghosts?
Those are the AI cursor farms. Automated systems using LLMs to mimic human clicks, scrolls, typing patterns, maintain specific online personas over long periods.
So they look and act human online.
Frighteningly so.
Oh.
Generating continuity, pushing narratives. And this isn't theoretical if the sources point to documented cases, like the U.S. Department of Justice disrupting an AI-boosted Russian bot farm.
A Russian bot farm using AI.
Yeah, specifically designed to spread pro-Kremlin talking points across various platforms. This is real high-stakes stuff.
Wait, so it's not just a few fake accounts. It's an entire simulated economy creating influence. That's staggering.
It is. And this manufactured popularity, this synthetic fame generated by cognitive farming, it's used for something maybe even more insidious. Fame wash.
Fame wash. Okay, explain that. It sounds like money laundering, but with algorithms.
That's exactly what it is. Algorithmic reputation laundering.
Okay, how?
The goal is to use synthetic fame, millions of fake followers, fake likes, fake engagement, as a kind of reputation shield.
A shield for what?
Let's say some entity, maybe a person or a group, has illicit off-platform intentions or maybe some really dubious funding sources, something they don't want traced.
Right.
By manufacturing this huge, organic-looking online following, they create the appearance of mainstream legitimacy and appeal.
Okay, they look popular.
Then what? Then they funnel their actual problematic funds or push their hidden agenda through seemingly legitimate channels tied to that fame. Things like sponsorships, brand deals, influencer marketing.
Ah, so the dirty money goes in one side.
And comes out the other side looking like clean income earned from their massive but fake popularity. The synthetic fame washes the illicit intent or the dirty money clean. Bad influence gets laundered into legitimate-looking brand income.
That's deeply cynical. And the overall record-keeping for this whole deceptive system, that's the invisible ledger.
Exactly. The invisible ledger is the total accounting of suppressed truth and inflated noise. It tracks how credibility is systematically eroded in the public square.
And that leads to the pay-to-speak casino.
Right. Where genuine connection, authentic voices get throttled. Shadow banning is like the silent guillotine, just erasing your organic reach.
Well, the manufactured stuff gets boosted.
Get subsidized reach, yeah.
Yeah.
Paid-for narratives get priority visibility.
So if you're real, you get punished. If you pay to be fake, you get rewarded.
Yeah.
And the platforms, they actually benefit from this.
Commercially, absolutely. Suppressing authentic voices drives those users towards paid features to try and get seen again. Which brings us to the legal side. Jurisdictional entrapment.
Okay, jurisdictional entrapment. How does that work? The free user, the anonymous one, seems kind of free.
They exist in a kind of jurisdictional limbo, yeah. That anonymity, not being verified, it's a fragile sort of freedom. It's almost the last refuge of speech where your legal risk is low. You're a digital ghost.
But the second you want to be seen, if you want analytics or a verification badge or just better reach to fight the shadow ban, you have to pay.
Often, yes. Upgrading usually requires paid tier identification. Know your customer, KYC. That's like getting your digital passport issued.
And that ties you down.
It tethers you to territorial law. You're not just an IP address anymore. You're linked to payment details, a real identity. You're traceable. The platform has effectively captured you legally.
So the trade-off is stark.
It really is. You swap freedom without reach for reach without freedom.
Wow. The platform uses our own need for visibility, for reputation, to basically force compliance and liability onto us. It traps you by making authenticity something you have to buy, potentially the cost of your anonymity.
That's the dependency trap, which raises the huge question, right? How do we possibly fight back against a system that's designed at every level to make being real expensive and being fake profitable?
The sources do propose a defense strategy. The counterledger.
Right, the counterledger. It's essentially a call for a self-regulating, user-driven digital moral economy, one that asserts a basic digital right to reach.
A right to be heard organically.
Yeah. And the technical strategy involves things like neutralizing bots by establishing reliable proof of personhood.
Proving you're human.
Proving you're human and building reputation-based trust webs. Ways to verify humanity without totally destroying necessary anonymity for whistleblowers or dissidents, for example.
So the goal isn't just catching bots, it's making it too expensive to run them.
Exactly. Make cognitive farming economically non-viable, jack up the cost of faking it. Maybe require a financial stake, like collateral, or significant computational proof work for synthetic accounts to operate at scale. Turn their need for massive volume against them. Make industrial-scale deception just too darn expensive to maintain.
Okay, so bringing this all together, what does this mean for you, the listener, trying to just navigate this incredibly complex online world?
Well, it means the digital matrix is ruthlessly sorting you, mainly by how comfortable you are with simplicity versus complexity, certainty versus uncertainty.
And driving most people towards that simple high outrage stuff.
Right, creating this population of vulnerable automa,
Yeah.
which is then exploited by sophisticated bots and AI to manufacture consensus fake agreement.
All while running this fame wash operation in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah, laundering influence, capturing your attention, and just fundamentally eroding your trust in what you see online.
Okay, but connecting this to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
the sources offer maybe a glimmer of hope, a counter strategy for the individual.
They do. And it's interesting, these powerful LLM bots, for all their sophistication, they actually work best in those low-depth, simple environments.
Why is that?
Because complex, nuanced content, it tends to overwhelm their context windows. They need simple narratives to operate effectively at scale. They can't handle too much ambiguity.
So for you, the person listening, the curious learner, the defense against becoming an automa.
It's essentially to train your own metaphorical context window, your own ability to handle complexity
How do you do that?
by actively gravitating towards high-depth content, learning new things, especially across different fields like we did today with chemistry and computer science, increasing your tolerance for ambiguity, for uncertainty.
Create your own island of calm.
Exactly. It gives you a small island of calm and protects you, to some degree, from the manufactured madness. So read things, study things, think for yourself. That's honestly the best immune system against this coming automa storm.